So, despite the questionable intelligence of upgrading a 10-year-old mountain bike, a few weeks ago I decided to install a set of Magura MT Trail Sport brakes on my 2009 Specialized Epic Comp. Long story short, the stock Avid Elixir brakes just never did it for me. After a few sketchy rides and a lot of squishiness this fall, I decided I needed to upgrade to something else. The install went pretty smoothly, but I didn't have time to test ride them immediately. So this weekend I headed out to some of the trails in northeast El Paso to see how they hold up. So this is a follow-up to the install video, so check that one out for a little more detail about the brakes themselves. For those unfamiliar, El Paso straddles part of the Franklin Range of the Rocky Mountains and offers hundreds of miles of trail network spiderwebbing the foothills. I had intended to ride the Old Blue Mad Lazy Cow Loop, which combines part of the Old Tin Mine Road, Blue Moon, Mad Cow, and Lazy Cow trails, but I missed the turn from Blue Moon to Mad Cow, so I wound up riding Blue Moon to Rock Shock Road, then Trenchtown Road, part of Lazy Cow, and then back to the trailhead on Old Tin Mine Road. Links to the MTB project listings for each of these trails are in the description below. Like all the trails in El Paso, the surface varies between sections of small, medium, and large rocks and gravel with occasional exposed smooth rock face. I'll save you from watching me slog up the initial 2-mile climb. Honestly, it isn't a terrible climb, but definitely not the fun part of the ride. Once you hit Blue Moon, the ride improves significantly and you switch from loose, gravelly access road to generally downhill, gently rolling single track. It's still mostly loose, small gravel over hardpack, with a few small arroyo crossings. I'll come back out here on another day and do a full trail report. Overall, this is a much more manageable trail system for my 26-inch 100mm travel bike than the Lost Dog Trail network on the west side. These trails actually extend over the Franklin Mountains and connect with the network on the other side through Mundy's Gap. I haven't made the full crossing either by foot or by bike, but I have hiked a number of the trails on the west side, and they get pretty rocky in the mountains. We have an annual race called the Puzzler each January, and the 50-mile distance goes through the gap to the west side. I've heard that that part of the course is a pretty grueling rock garden that I'm in no hurry to ride. So this was my only fall the entire ride and it was completely ridiculous. No idea why I fell. Rock Shock Road definitely lives up to its name. Very rocky with a number of arroyo crossings. Unlike many disc brakes, Magura sells the MT Trail Sport as a set, with a 4-piston MT5 caliper for the front and a 2-piston MT4 caliper in the rear. They come with Magura's HC1 one-finger levers. I'll put a link below to the full specs. Magura sells a higher-end 4-piston, 2-piston combo called the MT Trail, but those are almost twice as much as the Sport, and I like the styling of these better anyway. My first impression of the brakes is very positive. The bike came stock with a 160mm rotor in the front and a 140mm rotor in the rear. It's a dedicated cross-country bike, but they just felt a little weak. Even before I started having issues with the brakes, I'd considered going up in rotor size, so I decided to put a 180mm rotor in the front and a 160 in the rear with the Maguras. The brakes seem to have great stopping power. I'm not sure if I'm qualified to say that they have good modulation, but I could apply the braking power I needed to stop without them locking up or feeling spongy, which is a big problem I had with my previous brakes. Another distinct improvement over the stock setup are the one-finger HC1 levers, which I really like. They fit my hand placement and riding style very well and are really comfortable. The one issue I had was that the front brake seemed to get a little soft mid-ride, and I was afraid that I had messed it up when I was shortening the brake lines. After the ride, I fiddled with the reach adjust some more, and now both front and rear seem to have similar travel and engagement. So maybe it was just something weird going on as they were braking in and bedding. Not sure about that. I may bring the levers in just a hair so I can get a tiny bit more of my index finger on the lever when fully extended, or I may leave them like they are. I'm pretty satisfied with them for the time being. Trenchtown Road is an easy dirt road downhill connecting Rockshock Road with the Lazy Cow Trail. If you take it all the way down from where it meets the old Tin Mine Road, you have a more or less straight 600-foot descent over almost 2.5 miles. Once you hit Lazy Cow, it's an easy ride to get you back to the old Tin Mine Road. It's mostly windy dirt single track, but fairly flat with only a couple fairly easy climbs and descents. The trails on the west side are definitely more technical than this loop, with steep climbs and drops and a lot of cliffside riding. Check out Brian Kennedy's video from his recent visit to El Paso. He was riding in Rough Rider Canyon, which is way out on the east side, kind of near Waco Tank State Park, but it gives you a good idea of the trails on the west side of the Franklin Mountains. So thanks for watching this. If it's been useful for you at all, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you have any experience with Magura or any recommendations on down and in. If you've ridden in El Paso, let me know what you think of the trails here, and I'll see you next time.